Hi guys, Django here, and this is ATM Gravitas. It's a brand new mod pack on Minecraft 1.18.2, and is one of the first major packs that has the mod TerraFirmaCraft in it, which makes a major change to survival Minecraft. It changes everything. Huge biome changes, mining and crafting is all different. There's hunger, temperature, thirst, seasons, geology, so much to learn. So this is going to be exciting. So stick around as we get started with ATM Gravitas. All right, so here we are. Brand new world, brand new spawn. You don't punch trees to start in Gravitas. You can't. We have other stuff we have to do. We have to pick up twigs and pebbles, rocks. And this is how we get started. This is the equivalent of punching trees in this pack. And let's just grab a bunch of these. And while I'm running around grabbing my first twigs and rocks, let's talk about what this is all about. So this pack, like I said before, changes all the crafting dynamics. The early game is entirely this new TerraFirmaCraft mod. It changes so much. You can see the health bar down there is numbers. There's a blue bar in addition to the hunger bar, which is thirst. That triangle, I think, is by temperature. Not sure entirely. Let's take a look in here and see what we've got. There's a calendar. So when we hit winter, we can't grow crops, I think. So we need to have our food situation well in hand by then. We've got nutrition. Not sure how these things play out. I think I get more health if I eat a more diverse diet. Climate, I'm in a subarctic climate here. Low altitude, continental. The world is like based on tectonic plates and totally different world gen. Really neat. And so temperature, rainfall in an area matters for crops and what mobs spawn here. The temperature matters. There's a book which is really detailed and goes through really, well, I think everything. I've read through this entire thing. I think it is required reading. So you should definitely take a look through that book. Just grab a few more of these things. This is a very small mod pack, at least for now. It's new, so maybe they're adding more. I'm sure they're adding more. There's only like 80 mods in here, which makes performance really nice, and it starts up quick. The early game, it's going to be only TerraFirmaCraft stuff, and there's a lot of changes, and there's a lot going on. So even though there's a few mods, there's a lot of stuff to learn. It does have some mods in it, some really great ones. So it's kind of refreshing to have a nice small pack with not a ton of mods in it. I've been playing mod packs recently with like 300 plus mods in it, and it can be a bit overwhelming. This one has some of my favorites though: immersive engineering and immersive petroleum, thermal dynamics, and some of the mods from that series. Apotheosis, applied energistics 2, beyond Earth. We'll get to that in a second. Bigger reactors for power, blood magic, create. What's a mod pack without create these days? Ender storage, Ex Machina, and Ex Nihilo. I don't know how to say those. So some automation mods that are going to help us, I'm sure, as we progress and move on in this pack. So there's some great mods, but we're not going to be able to get to them. I think they're pretty well gated behind progression early on in TerraFirmaCraft. We have a mini map. You can see that in the upper right. And we have a map. If you hit the B key, we've got this blaze map, which I've never used before. It's pretty neat. It's got rainfall, temperature. So it's very technical. Geology. So there's different regions around that have different types of stone, and the different types of stones have different types of ores and gems in them, the way I understand it. So we're going to need to pay attention to what we see and what we find around. Later when it comes to mining things. But we can't mine right now because there's no way to make a pickaxe. We can't break a tree. I don't know if I showed that earlier, but we cannot break a tree with our hand, but we can make tools with these rocks and sticks. So if we look up stone head, we can make all these different heads here: axe head, hammer head, hoe, javelin, knife, shovel. Those are the 6 tools that we can make. In order to make a pickaxe head, we have to wrought iron with an anvil or some other process like these molds for cast iron. So we can get to these things, but we can't get there until we make these molds and anvils and things like that. So we're not going to be able to do mining at all right now. So let's go ahead and make these tools. To make them, let's bring these back up again. You use a process called knapping, which is basically banging two rocks together. So you need at least two rocks in your hands. Here's what a hammerhead looks like, a hoe, javelin, knife, and shovel. And so we right click in the air with one of these rocks we picked up. And here's the shovel. Here is the, just clicking to clear out these spots. Here's the axe head, if I remember correctly. And it doesn't take long to memorize these patterns. Here's a knife. Oh, you can just hold down the mouse to clear out spot. You don't have to click in every single spot each time. A javelin, I think, looks like this. And I think that's all we need for now. Let's make two axes. We're going to go through our axes pretty quickly. Okay, so now we can just craft these things with these twigs. And we have an axe and a knife and a shovel. Second axe. And finally, a javelin. A javelin is our weapon. And we can throw a javelin if you hold down the right the right mouse key. We can use javelins like that. Now this feels like a pretty good spot because we've got mud here, and I know mud is, from reading that book, an important crafting ingredient for building materials. So that's nice. We're going to need to find clay. Let's take a look at the advancements. Now we've done a couple of these things. Made a stone tool. We need to get some straw. That's with our knife, and we need to cut down a tree. So let's take care of those things. Now, if we hit grass with a knife, or I think most vegetation, we're going to get straw. And straw, yeah, and there goes the knife. So we go through a lot of these tools, but almost a stack of straw. It should do us pretty well for a while. And let's cut down a tree. And there's whole tree cutting in this, so that's nice. Oh, it cut both those trees down. And we get logs, and the logs look different than normal Minecraft vanilla logs. And that's because they don't work the same way. So in order to make a crafting table, for example, we need a workbench. To make a workbench, we need planks. And to make planks, we need lumber. And to make lumber, we need a saw. And to make a saw, we need a saw blade, which comes from ironworking or metalworking, which we just can't do yet. So we've got some other things to do before we can do those things even. Now, there's good news and bad news. I'm not scared of the nighttime right now because hostile mobs don't spawn in above ground. I heard a pig. There's the pig. That's the good news. Come back here. He's fast. There we go. I don't know if you noticed, but that pig had tusks, and there's male and female animals, apparently. And we get 5 pork from that, and a rawhide. So there's some useful stuff from different mobs. Friendly mobs drop different stuff than vanilla as well. So the good news is that we're not going to be bothered by hostile mobs, because unless we wander by a cave and There happens to be one spawned underground that can see us. The bad news is that there are prey animals. So there's stuff like cats, big cats, and bears, and wolves, and dire wolves who will attack. So, and some hunt only during the day, some hunt during the night. So if we see one of them, we need to be careful. And the wolves travel in packs. So some of them are tameable, some of them are not. So we'll learn about that stuff as we go here, but we just need to find a place to settle down right now. If we look at our next steps, we need to make a fire and find clay and some charcoal or coal. The book recommends that we keep an eye on the type of stone that we see on the ground, and that tells us what kind of area we're in geographically. And we might find some ores randomly on the surface, like this. Here we go, tetrahedrite. And it recommends that we kind of mark this spot with a waypoint. Here we go. The N key gives us a nice waypoint editor here, and it gives us an ingot. And I found tetrahedrite, I think it was called. So we're going to need to prospect for ores later on. So it's suggested that we mark these things on our map when we find them. So I will do that. Yeah, here's another one. So this is apparently a good spot to mine for tetrahedrite. Not sure what that's good for, but there will be a vein of tetrahedrite in that spot. Looking for a place to settle down. We want to be near water, not only to drink. You can see my thirst is getting low, but we also need to find clay. And where there's water, I'm hoping there's clay. So if we can kind of settle down in a spot that is maybe surrounded by some different ponds, maybe we'll find some quick clay. According to the book, there are certain plants that grow on dirt that is actually clay. There's lots of different types of clay blocks. So it's not just the vanilla way of finding clay. There's clay hidden in what looks like grass. But if you can find the right looking plants, which kind of look like ferns generally, that are kind of splayed out like hands, like open hands, you can find clay that way. Let's see. What is that? Is that ice? And there's going to be all kinds of random sounds like that because the world is kind of dynamic. There's cave-ins and rock slides and things like that just happening randomly around. So that flower right there looks like one of the indicators that it is growing on top of clay. So let's go check that out. Yeah, I think these Ethereum ferns indicate that they're sitting on clay. And let's just dig around here a little bit. Loam. There we go. Silty loam, clay grass, and clay dirt. And let's just grab all this clay here. And here's an interesting thing about dirt. And I think plays into the landslide thing I was saying, that dirt you can't stack it. You can make a pile of it, but you can't build with it. And it's going to like flow downhill when you place it. And that's kind of neat. So it falls like sand and gravel, but it also slides over and like needs to create a pile rather than a stack. The sun's coming up, no incidents overnight. Seems like it might be a pretty good place to settle down. Let's do it. What is that block over there? Whoa, that is a spawner. Okay. That made this spot infinitely more interesting. Not necessarily safe. I don't know what that is, but let's definitely settle down here and check this out. And taking another look at our advancements, we've got clay forming now that we've got clay. So we're headed there after we make a campfire. We need to find a tree. Let's head over here. Find some more twigs. There's some silver right here. Let's make a waste point for that. And now we can take 2 sticks and we get a fire starter. And if we down 3 logs, 2 logs, I think, 3 sticks or twigs. Well, let's use sticks. 1, 2, 3, and then some kindling. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just hold the fire starter down on the block, those things on it. It starts a fire pit. That took a while, maybe because it's raining. And then we right click on the fire pit and we can fuel it. So let's put a log in here and we can put one thing in at a time to cook it. The hotter it gets, the faster it goes. So we've got our fire pit. That's going to burn out. We can start it up again with the fire starter as long as there's some fuel in it. And what's next? Let's make a hut. Let's settle down here for a little bit. Well, first of all, we need to drink some water. So with an empty hand, come over to the water and right click to drink. And we need to eat. All right. So that solved that. Now let's make a bit of a shelter here. And make a bit of a shelter. So there's this thing called a wattle, which is logs positioned like that. And I think this is building materials. So we put that right here. Yeah. And then we can take straw and make thatch. And with thatch, we can... So if we put the thatch up here... Okay, some more thatch. Just want to connect this. The thatch does not even stop the rain. Well, that's sad. Look at me and my sad little existence here. Okay, so while waiting for the rain to stop and the sun to come up, I went up the hill there, found a big clay vein, and got some more logs and some more straw to do the next thing, which is to do some clay forming. And there's a couple of initial things that we want to make with clay. One is a jar. I think it's called a jar. Maybe it's a jug. There we go. A jug. Like an unfired jug. And that is with clay napping. And we need 5 clay, at least in our hand, to do this. So if I can try to memorize this, it's 3 and then a handle and a spout. Okay, so this, right? There we go. There's an unfired jug. And also, we can make a vessel, I think it's called. Yep, an unfired vessel. And let's make 2 of those. Actually, let's do 4 things. So we'll make 3 of these vessels and 1 jug, and we'll see why in a second. I'll just tell you, because we can cook 4 things at a time, I think. So let's put this over here. It's going to be fire. We don't want it to be too close to our thatch hut. And by placing V, we place these things in here. Oh, we can only do 1 at a time. I thought we could do 4. All right. Well, okay. So now we put, I think this needs 8 logs on top of this. Is it straw first? There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're making a pit kiln here. And then 8 logs. I'm just right-clicking. And then we need fire on top of that. And I think we can just light it with our fire starter. But we can also... There we go. Throw a torch on top of it. Okay, that's going to take 8 minutes. And now that I've mentioned torch, let's start a fire here. Make a few torches. So a couple sticks. And get our fire starter on here. Start up this fire pit. And now I think if we put torches in it, that's not a torch, that's not a stick. It's going to turn that stick into a torch. It does. 2 torches. Nice. We could have thrown a torch on top of this thing to get that lit. So let's make another one. I put the jug in here. I hit V to put that in there. So, think you can do multiple jugs like that? Not sure. So anyway, 8 straw. And then 8 logs. Did I not do 8 straw? Oh, 7 straw. 1 more. 8 logs. There's the kiln. And now we can throw a torch on here. And that will light it as well. Let's try another one of these vessels. There we go. All right. Now we just need to wait. While we're waiting for that, let's see what this spawner is over here. Curiosity is killing me. Is it going to spawn in the daylight? There's a lodestone. What's in there? It's a silverfish spawner. No, thank you. That's a horrible thing to have near a base. It says hold control for stats. Okay, this is apotheosis stuff, the spawn delay and all that stuff. Ah, it worked because the sun went down. Great. Here they come. Where can I stand that I can take these guys on a little bit here? Okay. I think they forgot about me. We'll let them despawn. All right, there's 10 seconds left. Let's see what this looks like when it finishes. Now we've got a vessel. So now this vessel, we can't open it in our hand, but we can put it down and open it up, and it can hold things. It can hold small things. So it can't hold a log because that's a medium size. Oh, it's very large rather. It's medium weight. But it can hold little things. We can seal it up, and this will store food longer. So I think it'll preserve food a little bit longer if it's in here. So there we go. We've got a vessel there. So it's got a little baby chest. This is about to finish. Then I'll go get some logs and we'll finish this pit kiln. So right click. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We've got a ceramic jug, which I believe we can fill with water, and we can drink out of it. When it's empty, you can blow on. That's funny. So we can carry one drink of water with us. That's hilarious. Okay, let's go get some more logs, finish off that last kiln. Oh, I think we found something interesting here. This is wild barley. Which we can use to make bread, I believe. And not a moment too soon. Okay, here's another vessel. Can I put the jug down? No. But I can put this vessel down. Couple of vessels. And let's get this last one cooking here. So that was 8 straw. We need 8 logs. And there we go. All right, let's check out this barley we found. We can turn that into barley grain. We have to make a handstone and turn it into barley flour. And with that and some water, we can turn it into dough. Can I plant it? We have a hoe. I can see here that dirt has hydration, different hydration levels, 92, 92, 72. No, I cannot plant that. I don't have anything I can plant. Oh, I got barley seeds. All right. All right, we're growing barley. Seems to like this temperature. The hydration is too high over here. So let's plant barley over here. Good, 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 good. Too high. All right. We've got some barley growing. Let's try bone mealing it and see what happens. We can't make bone meal. Not out of bone, apparently. We can crush bones. Again, in the quern. If that's pronounced quern or kern. I'm going to have to look that one up. Let me know in the comments if you know how to pronounce this word, if it's even a real word. All right. I think that's going to do it. I think that is enough for an initial look at ATM Gravitas and TerraFirmaCraft. We've accomplished some stuff. We learned how to knap stone and clay, made some vessels, cooked those, found some barley, planted that. I think this is a good start. Next time, we're going to figure out how to use those vessels to cook up some ores. We need to find some more ores in the first place. And if we take a look at the advancements, I think a new tab opened up with the TerraFirmaCraft world. And there's all sorts of new stuff for us to do here. So, yeah, we did a few of these things, and we'll continue learning and progressing in TerraFirmaCraft. So until then, if you like the video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel to stick around. I think we're going to start a series on ATM Gravitas. I like this. It's kind of grindy in the beginning, which I enjoy starting out a new game, forcing me to progress slowly. As long as it balances out, we'll see how that goes. So subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know how to pronounce quern or kern. And thanks for watching. I appreciate you.